The story of Nia and the spirits of the river. An African folk tale. Chapter 1. A River's Daughter. Long ago, in the heart of the lush Mbale Valley, where the sun kissed the earth with gold and the mighty river Zoma sang through the land like an eternal lullaby, there lived a young girl named Nia. She was the daughter of a fisherman and the granddaughter of a village herbalist. The people of our village called her Nia Wamoji, child of the water, because she had been born during the season of the great flood, when the river rose so high it kissed the clouds. From the time she could walk, Nia spent her days near the river. She spoke to the fish, sang with the birds, and danced with the wind. The elders often said that one has the river spirit in her blood, and indeed, there was something about Nia's calm gaze and her listening heart that set her apart. Her father, Boba Tambo, was a quiet man who told long stories in few words. Each evening, after casting his net into the gentle waters, he would sit under the baobab tree with Nia and say, "The river sees everything. It remembers. It gives and it takes. Respect it always." And Nia did. But one year, the rains did not come. The air grew dry and brittle. The river thinned like thread, and the crops shivered under the sun's harsh gaze. The villagers grew afraid. The elders burned incense and offered prayers, but still the river refused to rise. Then, one twilight, as Nia sat by the edge of the water, she heard her name whispered in the breeze. "Nia! Nia!" She looked around. No one. "Nia!" It came again, from beneath the surface. The water rippled and shimmered. Slowly, a figure rose, a tall, glowing spirit with skin like moonlight and hair flowing like reeds in the current. "I am Nyembi," it said, "guardian of the river Zoma. And I am fading." Nia gasped but did not run. "Fading? Why?" "Because your people have forgotten the old ways. The balance has been broken. The river is no longer honored, only used. Life withers when respect is lost. What must we do?" Nia asked, her heart pounding. "You must journey to the sacred cave beyond the 3 hills. There lies the knowledge to restore the river. But beware, many have gone and never returned." Nia swallowed hard. "Then I must be the one who does." And with that promise, her journey began. Chapter 2. The Path of Thorns and Wisdom. The morning Nia left, her mother wrapped sweet roots and dried fish in banana leaves and kissed her forehead. "Go with your ancestors," she whispered. Nia walked through the forest of Mbale, where shadows spoke in ancient tongues. Birds watched her silently. She crossed the 3 hills where wind howled like a chorus of spirits and came to the great dry plain known as the place of forgotten echoes. There, a mighty serpent awaited. Its eyes were the color of fire, and its tongue flicked like lightning. "Why do you come, child of water?" it hissed. "I seek the wisdom to heal the river. Many have come with words. Few came with truth." The serpent slithered close, its breath warm and sour. "Answer this, what feeds a river more than rain?" Nia thought deeply. "Not fish, not roots, not time," and then she said, "Gratitude." The serpent reared back, surprised. Then, slowly, it lowered its great head and moved aside. "You may pass," it said. "But know this, the hardest journey is within." Nia traveled onward, her feet blistered, her lips dry. On the 4th night, she found the sacred cave. It pulsed with a light not of this world. Inside, an old woman waited by a pool that glowed with blue fire. "I am Amina, keeper of memory," she said. "The river remembers. But do your people?" Nia fell to her knees. "They have forgotten. I want to help them remember." Amina nodded. "Then listen well." For 3 days and nights, Nia listened. She learned the ancient songs that healed wounds, the rituals that honored water, the reasons behind each tradition her people had let slip. She learned that the river was not a resource, it was a relative. And only when treated as such could it give life freely again. Chapter 3, The Return and the Reckoning. When Nia returned, her village was worse than before. Cracks split the earth like wounds. Children cried from thirst. The elders had lost hope. But Nia stood tall. She gathered the people beneath the baobab tree. I bring back the old ways, she said. The ways our ancestors lived by. We must stop taking and begin giving. Every drop we drink must be thanked. Every fish we catch must be honored. Some laughed. And will thanks fill our bellies, said one man. But others remembered the old songs. One woman began to hum. Another lit a bundle of sage and tossed it into the river. Slowly, slowly, hearts softened. They built shrines along the river. They planted trees along its banks. They held ceremonies of thanks, giving their best harvest as offerings. They listened to the stories of their elders and sang the songs Nia taught. And then, one morning, the rains returned, not as a storm, but as a gentle blessing. The river rose, not in a flood, but like a full breath returning to tired lungs. Fish leaped. The soil grew rich again. And the people wept. Nyambi rose from the water one last time. You have remembered, he said. You have restored the balance. But remember, balance is not a place. It is a practice. Keep it. Chapter 4, The Spirit Lives On. Nia lived to be an old woman, with silver hair and a smile like sunshine. Children came from villages far away to hear her speak of the river and the serpent, the old woman in the cave, and the whispers in the wind. Before she passed on, she stood once more at the riverbank, her feet in the water, and sang a song of gratitude. The river shimmered, and some say Nyambi stood beside her, invisible but present. After Nia's time, the villagers built a circle of stones around the baobab tree and named it the place of remembering. Each year, they hold the Festival of Balance, where songs are sung, stories are told, and offerings are made, not out of fear, but love. And they say that if you sit by the river on a quiet night, you can hear Nia's voice in the current, singing the song that saved the world. Chapter 5, The Drought's Return. Years passed, and the village thrived under Nia's teachings. Children learned to fish with gratitude, to speak blessings into the soil, and to treat water like the sacred blood of the earth. But as new generations grew, the stories began to feel like myths, not truths. One season, the rain didn't come. The sky stayed dry for months. The river receded, but this time, the elders didn't panic. We know what to do, they said. Nia taught us balance. But something was different. The birds had gone silent. The river didn't murmur like it used to, it was still. Watching. A boy named Kito, Nia's great-grandson, went to the river one night to leave an offering. But when he reached the shore, the water recoiled from his touch. A shadow slithered beneath the surface. He ran home, breathless. The river, it's not our river anymore. And for the first time in many seasons, fear returned. Chapter 6, The Spirits Beneath. Nia's granddaughter, Lela, now a grown woman and healer, traveled to the old cave beyond the 3 hills, hoping to find answers as her grandmother once did. But the path had changed. The forest was overgrown, the winds whispered in strange voices, and the cave entrance was guarded by a creature with bark for skin and eyes like smoke. You seek the memory of the river, it growled. Then prove you are not made of forgetting. Lela bowed. I carry Nia's blood. I do not forget. The guardian looked into her soul. Then remember everything. And suddenly, Lela fell into a vision of the time before the village, when the land was untouched, and spirits danced in the mist. She saw the first river, long before Zoma, and the ancient beings who lived beneath it, the Gura, the watchers below. They had slept peacefully for centuries, but something had disturbed them. Something new. When Lela awoke, the guardian handed her a gourd filled with silver water. "This is the river's dream," he said. "But even a dream must be handled with care." Chapter 7: The Broken Pact. Back in the village, strange things began to happen. Water jars filled with sand. Children dreamed of drowning. Crops bloomed in one day and withered the next. Lela returned and called for a gathering. "I saw the Gura," she said. "The spirits below the riverbed. We must have disturbed their sleep." The elders were puzzled. "We kept the rituals. We gave offerings." But Lela shook her head. "Not all of us." The villagers looked around uneasily. A group of young hunters stepped forward, ashamed. "We built a dam upstream," one confessed, "to trap the river's flow and make fishing easier. We didn't think it would matter." Lela's face turned grave. "You did not think, but the river did. You broke the pact. Now the Gura are awake, and they are angry." The elders ordered the dam destroyed immediately, but the damage had been done. The river began to whisper in voices no one understood. Chapter 8: The Trial of the Moon Lake. There was only one chance to restore the balance: the trial of the Moon Lake. According to ancient legend, deep in the forest was a lake that reflected not the sky, but the heart of whoever gazed into it. Only those pure in spirit could ask forgiveness from the Gura. Lela, Kito, and 2 other villagers, Tmu the weaver and Jabari the scout, set out at dawn. They crossed forests twisted by drought, where trees wept sap and birds cried warnings. At the foot of a mountain, they found the Moon Lake, glowing with an eerie silver light under the sunless sky. One by one, they stepped to the edge. Jabari saw himself stealing from neighbors during famine. He ran, unable to face his guilt. Tmu saw herself hoarding yarn when the village needed clothes. She wept, then stepped into the lake, offering all she had left. Kito saw nothing, until he remembered the day he mocked the river, throwing stones into it, calling it just water. The lake shimmered with that memory. But he stepped in, and the lake accepted him. Lela's reflection showed her grandmother, Nia, smiling gently. And then, the image of the Gura appeared, massive, shadowy beings with glowing eyes. "We forgive," they whispered. "But the balance is now your burden to carry." The lake paused, and a wave of silver light rushed through the land. The sky cracked open with thunder. Rain began to fall. Not heavy. Not wild. Gentle. Alive.